Hello, welcome, Joy Peixoto. How's it going today?
Good, how are you?
Doing so good. Welcome everyone to the first ever episode of Amá CONVERSA. Today we have Joy Peixoto, who not only is a folkloric dancer, but he's the one that started his group. He also is a graphic designer who helped do the logo for the show, which if you ever get a chance to check it out, please do. It's a very beautiful logo, and we can kind of get more into that. But in the beginning, I would like you to say who you are, what is your name, how old you are, and where are you from? And then we can go more deeper to what exactly it is that you do. Not only are you involved with Folklore, with graphic design, but you're also the president and the king of your hall, and we can get more into that. And you're also involved with Luso. So there's a lot of different topics that we're going to cover today.
Okay, well, I'm Joy Peixoto. I am 24. I live in Oakley, California, so East Bay, kind of. And what are the others?
Where exactly, for the people who don't know, because I personally have never been to Oakley. So where is Oakley near? What are other cities that Oakley is near?
It's like, I want to say like 25 minutes about from Tracy, and then like, we're like by Martinez, Concord, Antioch. So like really, really far East Bay.
Okay, perfect. Well, I got a bit of an idea there. And I mean, we can start off talking about whatever you would like to talk about. We can start from the beginning. So I know me and you were chatting a few days ago, and you actually started dancing when you were around my daughter's age. So when you were around 2 or 3-ish, you started to get into dancing when you were just a toddler. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so literally right when I was born, my parents bought me a Luso policy. So I was kind of involved like really early in Luso, and I kind of started dancing like literally right when I came out. I I yeah, so at like a really young age, I honestly don't even really remember. The only thing I really remember is like learning how to dance to El Siege Mashad. That's
Oh
it.
my God, love him, love Alcide. That was literally one of my earliest Portuguese artists that I would listen to when I was a kid would be him. And funny thing is, when Emilia was very, very small, she used to have a lot of colic problems, and she would cry a lot. So what I would do, I would sing Chapelle de Paila.
That's
And
the song I learned how to dance.
yes, so I would sing Chapelle de Paila, and that was the only thing that would calm her down, like every single time. So,
Oh
so Chapelle de Paila is a very favorite here in our house. And then also, so you've been involved with Luso since you were 2, and you are 24 now. And not only that, but you became a mentor and leader within the community at a very early age too, correct? Can you
yeah.
talk about the first time you stepped into a leadership role within our community, and how has that affected you? How have you liked it? And also, you told me that you have taught hundreds of kids how to dance. And I want to explore that a little bit more. So if you can just elaborate on your role as a leader in Luso and also as an instructor choreographer.
Yeah. So for Luso, for people who don't know, Luso is it's a life insurance like company, but they also have like a side of their business where they have activities like the Luso American Youth Theatrical Program. So where a bunch of the kids who have policies, predominantly who have Portuguese American parents, they all like come together in their areas, and they make like a 10-minute show to kind of present at the convention. So I was a part of that. I don't even remember since when, but since I was really little. And then at the age of 18, that's when there's like a deadline. You kind of have to stop. You have to stop dancing after the age of 18. So after that, after I aged out at 18, I went forward to teach. To teach all the, I taught three different groups after I aged out. So yeah, and each group, I mean, roughly like, it's ranged from 60 to 90 kids. And I mean, when you add it up over the years, it's hundreds of kids.
Yes.
But I mean, that's something special to me because I think it's so cool, you know, like you remember that for the rest of your life, and you kind of like remember who taught you how to dance, you know. So I guess it's kind of cool, you know, people will kind of always remember me for that. So
That's fantastic. So you've taught for 3 different groups within Luso. So are those 3 different groups from 3 different cities, or yes, okay. So which cities were those groups from?
So the first one, I grew up dancing for this group. It's called Youth Council 16 of Contra Costa. So it's kind of just like a whole broad county. So yeah, and then the next group, when after I aged out of Luso, I started teaching for Sacramento. And I taught there for 1 year. And then after that, I moved to teaching Manteca. And that was for 2 years.
So Contra Costa, Sacramento, and Manteca.
Yeah.
Right? Fantastic. And what is the biggest Luso group, to your knowledge? Do you know which is the biggest one?
I think currently right now, I mean, as of the last 2019 when we had performances, I'm pretty sure it's, I think it's Youth Council number 24 of San Joaquin, Modesto.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's huge. I think it's like 90 something kids.
Oh, wow. That's really great. And
Yeah.
do you know how long Luso has been around? Because I know I've always been hearing about Luso since I was a kid, and I was always interested in it, but I didn't always have all the information. So it's awesome now in adult life that I get to connect with different people that are involved with Luso, so that we can learn a little bit more. Honestly, like I didn't know a lot about it. I just had some friends that would dance, and that kind of like sparked my interest about it. But you never know. Maybe Amelia one day will be a dancer or into dance. She does love singing and dancing. So I hope one day that you can teach her in some shape or form. Maybe with your Folklore group. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
And I would love for you to actually tell us what kind of Portuguese-American activities have you been involved with in the community, and what was your favorite so far?
When I was little, obviously started in Luso. Then while I was still in Luso, I kind of like, I feel like I just kind of like wanted more, you know, like I wanted to learn other kinds of things.
Yeah.
So especially through dance. And then I ventured out and I joined my first folklore group. And I don't even remember the name.
How old were you when you joined your first Folklore group?
I want to say I was like 10, 12, around that age.
That's really good.
Yeah, and then, so since then, I've been in three folklore groups too. So counting the one, no, four counting the one I started.
Awesome, 4 groups.
Yeah, and then after that, and then I joined a conjunto. Our name went, well, I guess we're still a band. Everything's just on pause with COVID. But our name was Conjunto Alianza.
Nice.
And it's like a compromise of like all family. So it was kind of cool.
That is so cool. I would like to, do you have like any videos of that or anything? I would love to see that one day.
There actually are some on, I think there's some on YouTube. They're really old, so like sound quality is terrible.
Do you sing then in that case? So you sing or play an instrument?
Yeah, in that band I play keyboard and I played saxophone.
Wow, okay. I'm learning a lot of new things about you. I had no idea you were a musician as well. That's fantastic. So you're just like all over, not only with dance, but with music and with art as well. And how long have you been doing graphic design for the community?
Oh God, I want to say I want to say since I started maybe my first folklore group, um,
That's awesome.
even for Luso, and I've just been making like flyers, started off with flyers and stuff, and then I mean, I kind of just slowly gotten better, but with technology, kind of like it just got
It's more
easier.
easy. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then what has been your favorite experience teaching hundreds of kids how to dance for the last 10 years? What has been, because I think you said that you started teaching around 2010 and it is now 2021. So what has been your favorite experience about being an educator?
Honestly, I think for me, like the most important thing about teaching kids is kind of just like showing them like the history side of it, just kind of showing them like things that like their families or their ancestors did before. Like Luso's kind of like it's like a combination of like this old style like traditional folklore kind of stuff, and then now it's kind of like blended in with like a new kind of dance. So kind of just teaching them that, like all of the kids that I've taught, I know for a fact that I have showed them or I've explained to them, where this comes from, or what's the name of that dance move? Is that a shula? Is that a vita? Is that, a picadinho?
Proper terminology for the actual pass, like the actual dance step or whatever. You're teaching them the actual term, you're teaching them what it is, showing you what it is, and then you're putting it all together. But then you're also saying that you're kind of bridging the gap between um, an ancient tradition of ancient, maybe is not a good word, but an old tradition, and you're bridging the gap with our modern world now, and the music from now, and you're kind of doing a fusion type of a thing, if anything,
Yeah,
right? Okay, that's pretty
yeah,
cool. That's
yeah. And I think like, I don't know, for me, it's just like the moment and like all that time you spend, kind of preparing for, the convention or, for whatever performance that you have. It's kind of just like it's like, it's almost like you help them grow, like
yes,
you put all this work into something, and then when the performance comes, you're kind of just like a mess because you see it all happen and you're like,
yes, of
dude,
course.
I did that. Like
It
it's
must
like
be
every
like a whirlwind of different emotions. Like
yes,
you're proud, you're tired, you're happy, you're ecstatic, you're nervous, right? You may have some worry and everything, but then once it all goes down and it is all done with, and it's a fantastic production, then after you just feel elated, like you feel like you're on top of a cloud. Is that true?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like you're on like like this adrenaline like high.
Yes, it is. It is. It is.
It's crazy. It's like like no matter how good or bad or your performance is, it's like, dude, like I taught those kids and they did so good regardless,
Yes,
whatever. And I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of special.
it is. It really is. And they'll, like you said, they'll take that with them and they'll remember that forever, for a lifetime, you know? And
Yeah.
and another thing, so how was it when you were beginning your Flocorico group? When did that begin? And was it difficult? Was it easy? How's it been going since then?
So my group, so the last group before I started my group, I was in Group Folklorico Amá CONVERSA. And my group kind of branched off from theirs. Um, they taught me a lot of stuff about my region, which is Ribatejo. Previously to that, I only knew like Minu. Um, so they taught me a lot. So I kind of had a lot to kind of go off of.
Hmm.
So I want to say we formed the group in 2018. Um, I was going to take a break from folklore and kind of just yeah. Surprisingly, I was going to
Don't
take
do
a small
that.
break.
Don't
Yeah,
take a break. I'm telling you. Because then I don't
yeah,
know how it is to come back. And sometimes people never come back and blah, blah, blah. So don't take a break, Joey. Don't
I
do
know.
it.
I know. I was gonna take a small break or just maybe a permanent break.
No, don't
Um,
do it.
but I had a lot of people kind of push me, which I'm happy they did, push me to start the group. Um, but it was rough, like, doing all like the little things that you don't really think about,
Yeah.
we started from zero. We had $0, no bank account, no people. I mean, it literally got started from the ground up. Like, we had no money. We, like, it was rough. We had no costumes. Like, we had all this made. It was a lot, and we did practically all new dances. We didn't really use too much from past groups, and
Oh wow, a lot of
it was a
work.
lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our group since we formed, and I want to say since our first couple performances, it was crazy. We literally, after our first, like, I want to say 2 or 3, our group like blew up. Like, it was crazy. We got all these performances like out of nowhere. Like, I'm telling you, we had maybe 3 for the year, and then like that, the whole list, our calendar, twice, 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. Like,
I believe it.
it would be like 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday, and we go. It was crazy. We blew up, and we got offers to dance in all over the world, like East
All over
Coast,
the world.
Canada,
Wow.
yeah, and even like the Middle East, Jordan, yeah.
That would be a fantastic experience.
Yeah, it's crazy. Portugal, we've gone Azores.
So, so your dance is from Ribatejo. So I want to know, is your family from continents? Are they from the Azores? And why did you like the dance of Ribatejo the most?
So my parents, my dad was born here, but his family's from Fayal. And my mom was born in Saint George.
Nice.
So I don't know. Honestly, I think the most predominant regions that are here in California and in our region, like our areas, it's predominantly Minu. And I've been doing that for the most part, like, my whole life. So I kind of just wanted to do something different. Like, there's always that appeal from Hipatia of like the footwork. Our footwork, if you like really pay attention, like,
oh,
Minu.
trust me, I pay attention to the it's intense.
Yeah,
I love
that's what like our region is like built on, is our footwork.
Yes.
And it's just really like, it's so different compared to Minu. It's so fast, it's so intricate. The costumes, I love our costumes.
I was going to use the word intricate. I sent that to you in my little brain. But it really is intricate, you guys. There was one video that I saw that our friend Senor Fernando posted, I don't know, like a few weeks back. And I even told you too, like, I was like, dude, you are freaking amazing. It was you and another guy in your dance group, and you guys were phenomenal. And like you said, the footwork is very intricate. It's very fast. It's very detailed. If you really do watch the video and pay attention, it's extremely easy to there's a lot of room for error is what I'm trying to say. So if you nail it and you do it well, like you guys did, it's even more of a gratification. Like, you totally just conquered something that was difficult, and now you're showing it to others. And I think that is an inspiration in and of itself. And maybe like somebody can just watch it and say, oh, look, they're dancing a Portuguese dance. But then there'll be other people like me who will watch it and be like really paying attention and like, wow, admiring it, because it is a lot of work to do that. And I'm sure just to even learn it, I mean, you guys were probably lots of mess ups, lots of falls, lots of tripping, lots of this and that. So I know people don't think about that process, and they don't think about what it actually entails for somebody, especially an American born, to dedicate themselves to an art. Because I feel like folklore to me, not only is it a traditional dance, but it is an art form in and of itself, just like dances. And no matter what kind of dance that you learn or decide to do, it is an art form. And I just feel like people, maybe our generation or the generations below us, or just in general, maybe just everybody in general, sometimes they take some traditions like Folklore or like Fado, for example, they take those old traditions and they try to think that it's not for us. Like they think that maybe it's for the older people, for the old guys, for the old ladies. And really, it's truly not. And it's dependent on us, people like you, people like me, and a lot of others in our community that we take it on, just like you. You've been teaching all the kids how to do the proper dance moves. And I want to show kids too, like, it's okay if you like Fado, if you want to sing, it's fine. Because I know, like when I was a teenager and I liked it, there was only a certain amount of people that I would open up about that to. And I think because a part of me was a little bit embarrassed to show that I was interested in something that is kind of, because I remember when, this was already a long time ago, but I remember I had told somebody that I looked up to at the time, this was like 10 years ago, and I told the person like that I like Fado and I want to get into it. They straight up said to me, well, there's a lot of positive, but then there's a lot of negative, right?
Yeah.
They straight up said to me, oh, don't do that, because that is very boring music. It makes people sleep every time we have events like that at our hall. Like nobody comes. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of energy. It's so boring and blah. So then after that, I started to think, oh, maybe that's right. Maybe I'm too young for this. Like maybe I can't get into this. But then like if something is in you, it's going to come back. It's going to come back to haunt you. It's going to knock on your door. It's going to be like, hello, I'm still here. Do you want to try again?
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
why I tell you, like, never take a break, never give up, because without people like you, we don't have people to teach our kids. We don't have people that are passionate. Like maybe you're super passionate, but then maybe like Joe Schmo that's in your group is not as passionate as you. And so like you need to be there to influence Joe Schmo and whoever else to continue on and to keep, because honestly, as 2020, we learned that in order to survive, we need to have goals, dreams, aspirations, because those are the things that are going to get us through to the next day. Sorry, I can like go in a totally
No, you're totally
tangent here.
fine.
But as far as Luso, is there do you want to continue with Luso? Do you want to go up within Luso? What do you want to do with Luso?
Currently, yeah, I've been trying to move up. And there's like, for people who don't know, like there's like a head of the council of each group. It's called the youth director. I've been trying, that's always been like kind of my dream since I was little. I've kind of always had like my role models. My dad was youth director, and a bunch of different, like my favorite people have been youth directors. It's always been kind of like one of my dreams to do, since it's like this like a society that I've been a part of my whole life.
Exactly. It's like a second nature. Like it's kind of like your family, like your home, right?
Yeah. I mean, it would be great, but it's hard. It's kind of competitive to be able to get into those positions.
Is there a lot of people trying to be in leadership roles within Luso as well?
Yeah, and it's mostly like, for the most part, they're like, it's like an older generational thing. You don't really see too many of like the younger generation taking those positions, or even, them giving them out to younger generations. But I think that's like another, just a big kind of problem in our community too.
I see. Well, 100%. I agree with you. That's exactly what we're just talking about, how, sometimes we downplay these traditions and we think that they're only for a certain group of demographic, but it's not true. And I also experienced that as well when I was in the direção for Group Carnaval in San Jose. We also experienced that too, because within my year, we were like the first direção that was all kind of, they call us the gente nova, like we were the young ones. And so I think from that, you also get a lot of critique. You run into a lot of difficulties within our community too, because they say that they want us, younger generation, to get involved, right? But then once we do get involved, they kind of, I don't like to say negative things, but they sometimes, it's not all the cases, but sometimes they just really beat you up to the point that, like you said, you want to take a break. Like,
yeah, it burns you out.
Yeah, it's a little bit sometimes overwhelming. and sometimes negative energy, and that's everything that we don't want, because
Yeah.
just a little negative seed can just destroy something so positive, you know. So yeah, I definitely encountered that within organizations. Is there any difficulties that you have come across or encountered through all these years being involved in the community?
I think for the most part, I've been pretty blessed, with the things that I've been given. I think my biggest like problem that I've really had throughout the community is like really just like that generational disconnect. Like it's almost like I think our generation genuinely wants to be involved and
Mm-hmm.
wants to take things over. I think it's just when we start or we try, it's almost like we get smacked down. It's like slit on the or a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
It's like it's I think they want us, but they want us to keep it their same ways that it's been for like 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, times are different. Things have to change. Things evolve.
Yes.
And I think that they're just not willing to let things change and they want to keep it a certain way. But I mean, things have to change. And like, if you want things to continue, things have to change with the times.
Yes.
And I think like that's a huge problem that I've had, because I am super passionate about the things that I do. And so, I mean, stuff like that, like gets me down. But I think it takes a lot out of people like us, who take kind of leadership roles in certain things, especially in our community. It takes thick skin
Yes.
because people will always try. Our community always has something to say, whether it's positive or negative, because there are definitely both. But I think that, sometimes the negative outweigh the positives, and it's really hard. It's really hard, especially for me. It's always been hard because it's everyone's. I feel like I don't know. Like I think because I've always just been like pushing for just
Yes.
doing
I
better,
think I know what
changing.
you're trying to say. Maybe you don't fit like the mold of what they're typically used
Yeah,
to seeing. So at first, like that's a little bit of a shock factor, okay?
yeah,
So once they get past the shock and they start to focus on your actual talent, that's when they start to appreciate you for who you are and for what you bring to this world. But initially, I know exactly what you're talking about. They're kind of judging you, and
yeah.
that's a natural thing that occurs. We can't step away from that. Like for me, for example, people don't like it when I talk about this, but for me, I have two things against me, or maybe even three. Um, so one, I would have to say I'm a plus size, so that already on its own brings issues and problems. A second thing is I have a lot of tattoos, and that is also a thing that brings a lot of problems as well. And then
Ridiculous.
yeah, and then the third thing would be maybe my nose ring, or that I do my crazy eyeliner.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Exactly. So like I'm trying to tell you, like we do need to have thick skin. You are 100% right there. We need to be ready to take the criticism, but when we take the criticism, we need to be gracious and pretend as if it was like a positive, because you can change a negative into a positive at any given time. So if it's something that hurts your feelings or offends you, which I'm sure you've had your share, I've had my share, all of us have had our share, but it's
Yeah.
all about, because you cannot control how others react, but you can control how you react. So I feel like the way to make that go away, kind of a thing, what I've been doing for the past year, but kind of for the past 2 years, is I honestly just try to be um, like as nice as I can be. There's this thing that's like kill them with kindness. But if you actually dive deeper into kindness, there's a lot of people that don't receive kindness, and we need to
Mhm.
remember that. So if me and you can continue to be that for people that don't really have that shining light, or just need a little bit of a shining light. I think if we continue to do it, more people will catch on, and more people will join this peace and love movement, that we got going on here. But I think it will take, like you said, perseverance. Like, you need to keep on keeping on. That's why I say don't take a break. And like I know what you're saying. Like, you've experienced some hardships because you are not the same as everyone else. Like, you are young, you are the president of your hall in Oakley, but not only that, you are the king of the hall, and you became king, just like how we have queens for the halls. You became a king of that hall when you were just a child. And
Yeah.
from there, you, as a young age, you were exposed to some type of discrimination, to some regard. And just like me, like I was trying to say, like, I am a bigger girl. Like, I've experienced discrimination when it comes to body image and size and stuff of that nature. And I'm sure you've gotten stuff for your style or your mannerisms or just how you are. And you know what? I say, throw that all in the garbage.
Yeah.
Throw that all in the garbage, because that is useless. Yeah. Totally useless for you and for others. And I'm so appreciative of you. I admire you so much. You are a great, great talent. You are a shining light. You are a gem of our community. And I never want you to take a break. Okay?
Thank you.
And let me just see here. Is there anything else, just to wrap it up and sum it up? I appreciate all your time. This has been a fantastic interview, by the way. And I'm going to invite you to come again, because I feel like there's a lot more topics that I want to dive deeper with you. Is there any last thing that you would want us to know here on Amá CONVERSA?
Honestly, I think it's just more of like a message to like our younger generation. Honestly, try your best. Try to take things over, or try to be involved. I think without our younger generation, things are going to end. And I don't think the older generation, our generation, or any younger generations after us want to see us or see it end. And I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. People, it's in human nature for people to be nice and to be rude, and it's gonna be hard. But honestly, it's some of the best times for me. It's been some of the best times of my life, like learning how to dance and creating my folklore group. My folklore group's like a family. So you kind of just develop like new friends, and it's like a new family for you. So I mean, I think these are just traditions that are so like weak, and memories you hold for the rest of your life. And it's just like it's just like a feeling, like you do when you're a part of something, it's just, I don't know, it just makes you feel special. So
it makes you
don't
feel
let anyone let you stop.
Included. It kind of makes you feel included.
Yeah.
It also gives you a sense of value, and you start to live your life in a purposeful way. And I think that's what everybody should do. I feel like everybody should hone in to what it is that they like, but not only that, but what it is that you are good at, because nobody likes to do something that they're not good at,
No, yeah.
What it is that you're good at, and try to not manipulate it, but try to change it in a way that it benefits the overall well-being of many people, not just yourself, but like many people. And I think that's the only way that we're going to push forward and be a very successful Portuguese community. We're going to change, like you said, we're going to evolve, and we're just going to keep on keeping on, and we're not going to take breaks, and we're just going to keep going. And hopefully, like my kids and all the generations after, will just keep it going.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Joey, for all your time. And I'll definitely have to get you back on for next month, hopefully, because I want to talk to you some more.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
I appreciate you so much. Big hugs, virtual hugs here. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.